Hello traders, this is Giancarlo here. Hope everybody's doing well today. Thank you for coming to the weekly walkthrough, or as I should say, the bi-weekly walkthrough. I will be getting started shortly, just wrapping up, setting up some stuff on my end, and then we can get started. So sit tight and we'll get started in a minute or so. All right, let's get started. Derivative trading carries a high degree of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. So today we'll be going over, as usual, I'll give my intro to EdgeProX, the intro to EdgeClear, and then I will go through how to build a TPO chart. And then at the end, as usual, there's a Q&A for the audience to ask questions if needed. And then there's other pre-submitted questions that I could go through as well. At least typically there's pre-submitted questions. So what is EdgeProX? EdgeProX is an all-in-one solution for active traders, MBO capabilities, volume profile, and TPOs, native order flow tools, fully functional with 300 plus studies and indicators. There's indicator layering, native to Windows, macOS, and Linux. This program runs on Rithmic, CQG, and IQFeed. Also, all these features that I've just mentioned and that I will be mentioning throughout are all available for $34.99 per month. This does not include the data feed that you select to run EdgeProX. What does EdgeProX offer? It offers a heat map, volume imprint, volume profile, TPO and market profiles, which is what we'll be going over today. Advanced DOM, simulated trading, replay mode, cross-instrument trading, cloud levels, EdgePro line, OHLC lines, time and sales, 300 plus built-in studies and indicators. What is EdgeClear? EdgeClear is an independent futures brokerage. We're created by traders for traders. We have an award-winning team, multiple clearing relationships. Our clearing partners are Phillip Capital, Dorman, and Ironbeam. We have an experienced team and founder, Futures Trader 71. We're continuously innovating and building. We're trader inspired here. So let's get into it. How to build a TPO chart. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up EdgeProX here. This is what our TPOs charts look like. So let me connect my data feed here just to make sure that we get that running. Okay, guess that's not going to be available today. We'll get that fixed in a second, but nonetheless, let me show you how to build this from scratch. So we'll delete this and we'll just go completely new. So what you'll do, okay, so what you'll do here to create a brand new TPO chart is at the bottom of the screen, what you'll do is you'll hit the plus button, type in a name for this page. I'm going to select this one right here just so it can be a fresh new page. It's going to come up like so. Then what you're going to do is you're going to eliminate these bars here. So by doing that, what you're going to do is just select this bars, the different bars you can choose from, and go to no bars. Now it's going to look like you don't have data on your charts. The next thing you want to do is press Control T, type in TPO or time price opportunity, double click this, and it'll pull up your settings. Before I add this to the chart, I am going to do my usual where I walk through all the different capabilities with these settings and what each of them mean. And then after that, I'll add it to the chart. And then if there's questions, that you guys can ask your questions. So time frame. The time frame, the typical time frame for a TPO study is about a day, but there are several options available, including intraday values, weekly, monthly bar sizes. But the time frame typically defines the range of data used for the TPO graph. So now going down, tick interval, this defines the price range that applies to each row in the TPO graph. A tick interval of 1 will plot a row for every price. So following down again, the sub interval, this determines the length in time of each cell that makes up the TPO chart. So on a daily chart, this is typically set to about 30 minutes. So as you can see here, we have it set to 30. The number of TPOs, I'm sure, as you can imagine, this may be used to limit the number of TPOs that are drawn on the chart. So right now we have it constrained to 20. If you wanted to show all, you would select all, and it would just go back as far back as data will pull. So continuing, selecting RTH data only. If this is checked, this will only load tick data that occurred during the regular trading session for the instrument. So the indicator is going to pull only regular trading hour sessions that you have configured for your specific time zone. The use historical minute bars. What this does is it allows the use of minute bars to create TPOs. This is ideal for longer time frames, long time frame profiles, so tick data doesn't need to be downloaded for the entire range. So I usually keep that checked for my personal trading. And then continuing forward under the display tab. What the cell gradient does, this option will shade the cells that are at the beginning of the time frame darker and the cells near the end of the time frame lighter. This typically helps to provide a visual indicator of how the time frame is distributed throughout the TPO graph. The bar color, this is the default color assigned to each cell or bar. Continuing down, ETH Bar Color. This is the seller bar color for the extended trading hour session. So when you check this, you can change the colors for the regular trading hour session so you can differentiate the two. Split regular versus extended trading session. Create two profiles. This basically creates two profiles per day, one for the ETH and one for the RTH. So I'll show you what that looks like once I'll select this just so we can see what that looks like. The point of control. This identifies the row in the TPO graph where the price spent the most time. In this case, where there is more than one row that meets this criteria, the one with the highest amount of volume is chosen. So let's see, cell width. This is the width in pixels for each cell that is drawn in the TPO graph. Align letters. This is a feature that is commonly used by traders. The align letters, enabling this will split each TPO letter into its own column. I'll show you what that looks like and what that does after we go through this. Letters, so if this option is enabled, letters will be drawn that identify the sequence of the cells. The letters in ETH, enabling this will change the font for the ETH letters. So enabling this will also show the letters for the ETH session if you would like this enabled. The open marker and close marker, this displays where the open price and closing price of the time frame occurred. In the case of the latest TPO, it will display the latest price for the close marker. Row totals, this displays the number of cells in each row on the left-hand side of the TPO graph. Line font, pretty self-explanatory, but if this option is enabled, the price level of each line that is drawn will be shown at the right-hand side. Midpoints, the midpoint draws a line for the midpoint between the high and low price of the TPO graph. The point of control line, this draws a line from the end of the point of control row to the end of the time frame. And then lastly, the high line and low line. What this does is this draws a line from the high and low for the high and low prices of the TPO graph. So it'll draw a high and low price for the TPO graph. So continuing forward, the initial balance range, what this is, so this you can go through and we'll show you what this, so you have the opening range. The open range, this is the time period and color for the opening range marker displayed to the left of the TPO graph. The open range is the high and low price range that the market traded within the given time frame. So in this case, in the given minute, you can configure this to whatever you would like it to be. Traditionally, a default is about five minutes. So continuing down, the IBR range. This defines the time period in subintervals and fill color for the initial balance range high and low. This is displayed to the left of the TPO graph. So continuing down though, the IBR, and then so all of these IBR extension 1, extension 2, extension 3, all of these here. So I'll highlight it, this one here. What this does is this is the percent of the IBR that is projected above and below the IBR range marker. This field is only enabled if either the top line or bottom line fields are displayed. So top line, so we'll just use, the top lines 1 through 4. What this does is this allows you to configure the line setting for the top IBR extension. And then the bottom line allows you to configure the line setting for the bottom IBR extension. So that's what the initial balance range settings will do within this. Continuing through, once you select the show value area, what the show value area does is this is going to show obviously the value areas within the TPO chart. The range percentage, this is the percentage of the trading time / volume to include within that value area. The range type, this is so you can choose between either the time or volume to include in this area. So traditionally, I have it set to time since it's a TPO chart. The bar color, this shade color for the bars that are parts of the value area. So a semi-transparent color can be used in this example to blend with the existing bars. So there's no confusion with that. Range lines, the range lines, when you settings for the lines that identify the top and bottom of the value area. So this will basically fire off a line for the top and bottom value area. The range fill, this fills the white space within the value area with a specified color that you choose. Continuing forward, yes, I know this indicator has a lot of layers to it, but we're almost done going through all the settings. Checking the show volume profile. This is checked by default, but what this does is when you check this box, it displays a volume profile graph to the left of your TPO chart. Display side, so this will display the volume profile either on the left hand or right hand side of the TPO graph. You can choose between the two. Continuing down, profile width, the width of the volume profile graph in pixels is displayed here. Bar color, the default color for the volume profile rows. So this is going to be the setting that is used to color your volume profile. The POC bar color, this is the color used for the point of control row. Point of control line, this is optionally selected, but what this does is it displays a horizontal line from the point of control row. Continuing, so show bid / volume ask, what this does is if this is enabled, the bid versus ask volume will be displayed in the profile rows. Lastly, show volume totals. So that is right here, the volume totals. What this does is this displays the total volume for each row within the volume profile. Selecting the value area, so this is going to display the value area for the volume profile. And as I'm sure we already went through these, so you know what these are. The last thing we'll go through here is the session colors. Basically what this area does is this displays different colors, so you can have colors be assigned for specific users to define a session for the trading day. The Sessions tab allows you to enable up to 3 different session colors. So this essentially will allow you to shade different sessions on your TPO graph in different colors through different times of the day. And then it's best to note that the time frame that is used, or the trading, is defined by the trading hours you have set within your computer. So if you have Central Standard Time, it's going to be 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time in my example here. So it's whatever time zone you have set within the program. But let's get to what this looks like. So once I hit create, you'll see I have my TPO charts. Now you're probably wondering, why did I split the regular versus extended session? Why did it not show the extended versus regular session? So if I X out of this, there should be another TPO chart here. What happened is, if I go to the settings, I go to all settings, I have RTH data selected. The indicator is only looking for RTH data. So now once I hit that, I hit apply, you'll notice the second TPO graph comes up. So there's that. The other thing to note, and I wanted to make sure that I showed this, I'll uncheck this and check align letters. This is what the align letters indicator looks like, essentially showing the TPO throughout the day. You can see how essentially the breakdown of the day within the TPO graph. And then as you can see here, we have our volume profile. That is primarily what this tool can do. I would say I'm not specifically, I don't specifically trade with this, so I wouldn't know the potential application with this, but that is every detail regarding the time price opportunity indicator within EdgeProX. If there are any questions, feel free to send that in the chat box. We typically have people submit questions before, but today nobody had submitted any questions prior to the webinar. So if there's anybody that has any questions, feel free to ask those now. And while those funnel in, what I'll do is I will, if in the case that you guys need any support that I can't provide in the webinars here, what I would do if I were you guys is check out support.edgeclear.com. There are knowledge base articles there for the traders. I built those knowledge base articles. Those knowledge base articles are very simple, but they go through step-by-steps on how to do certain things. And obviously, like and subscribe these YouTube videos to these YouTube videos in our EdgeClear channel. We will be doing more of these bi-weekly walkthroughs and how-tos going forward. So feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channels so we can get those subscriptions up. You can email us at edgeprox@edgeclear.com if you have questions. And as always, you can give us a call at 773-832-8320. So that is all I had for you guys there. If you guys have any questions regarding an account, there is my information there. Feel free to send me an email, give me a call if you have questions regarding which data would be best for EdgeProX, or rates, anything like along that. I would be able to assist you with that. Doesn't look like anybody has any questions. Thank you for coming out today, and have a great rest of your Wednesday, everybody. Cheers.